So I'm getting ready to film a wedding in Rancho Santa Fe, California, specifically at the Inn and Secret Garden. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is because all year round, I have the most amazing opportunity to film so many special weddings, so many special events at so many different venues and resorts and hotels. And I get asked pretty much year round, what is it like to actually get married at a certain venue? What is it like to actually shoot at a certain venue? So there's two things that I want to do in this video. Number one, for brides and grooms that are still in the process of looking for what venues they want to get married at and want to get some behind the scenes, what it's actually like to get married there, what is the staff like, what is the flow like, and to just kind of give you some inspiration of what's possible. And the second side of this video is for you videographers and photographers out there. You want to figure out what the best angles are going to be at. Maybe you haven't shot at this venue before, but I want to give you some tips and tricks of my perspective when it comes to actually shooting at this venue, to maybe give you some inspiration of things that you can maybe implement into your business, or just for you to see what my flow is like. Otherwise, I think we can get going. So one thing that I love doing when I come to a venue that either I haven't worked at before or even that I have worked at before is I like to come and walk the grounds just a little bit, just to see if there's any perspectives or any angles that I might have missed before, or angles that I think might be creative toward working with the couples that we work with and the clients that we work with, because I want to always have a fresh perspective of what I'm doing, what I'm shooting, who I'm working with. And that's not just myself, but it's also included with the photographer, the planner, the venue. We want to facilitate just amazing coverage of the actual wedding day. So I like to come in, like just today, we came in an hour before to look at the grounds to make sure everything is as it should be. It's just going to come out so much better in your photos, in your video. So we take that extra time to come out here to make sure we find the best angles, the best lighting, the best shadows, where it's going to look the most flattering for skin tones and for just portraits in general. So the Inn specifically is a staple of the community here in Rancho Santa Fe. And the thing that's beautiful about it is that it's really for brides and guests that are looking for a more elegant feel. They're looking for something that feels secluded, but it's not away like too far from society, because right over here, you have a lot of shops that you can walk around, and it's a very walkable area. Lots of shops, lots of food, lots of different areas to go eat and enjoy, bring the family, all that stuff. So really, if you get married here, you can bring the whole family. It can be sort of like a destination wedding where you have everything at your fingertips. You have all the shops over here, as well as just a super secluded area to come and feel like you're at a resort. So I wanted to hop in here really quickly because I wanted to talk about the first look, some of my camera settings, what the challenges were here, and how we adapted to those challenges, because that's pretty much our number one role throughout the day is, yes, we want to capture everything amazing, but really we're looking to prevent any challenges and to overcome any challenges throughout the day. That's the big reason people hire us. But I did want to take a second to talk about this first look because I didn't get a chance to while we were actually there. We were a little bit in a time crunch. Things were falling a little bit behind, so I didn't have time to actually talk about what was happening here. But I do want to share really quickly some of my camera settings, some of my thoughts behind this whole setup. And as you can see right here, as I talked about in the video a little bit earlier, is that my main focus, especially along with the photographer and content creator that you hire, is our main focus is we want to make sure that the lighting is as appealing as possible for brides. So, we went around, we basically tried to figure out what is going to be the best place for this first look. And this is where we ended up. We ended up here underneath this tree next to this building. There were a few other spots that we could have done, but it was very spotty. And you can see right here in this first look, it's still a little bit spotty, but I want to show you kind of a hack that I always think about when we're shooting in bright sunlight. Whenever the sun is out bright, and like, let's say that you don't have any shadows to work with, you don't have any trees, you don't have any cover to work with. As you can see right here, this shot of her walking down this pathway, there's no shade above her whatsoever, but you can see here that the lighting is still pretty flattering, right? Like you can see she's in bright sunlight, but one thing that we like to do is like, we like to turn them away from the sun. So if we have no coverage whatsoever, we try to turn them away from the sun, and then we expose kind of in the middle, so that way you can still get enough detail from her, from the bride's face and the bride's dress, but you could still get plenty of detail of the environment, so that way you're not having like super nasty looking highlights. We can make anything work in any scenario. I've seen it all. And this is one of the things that is kind of common that we have to deal with, is no shade, direct sunlight, but we still need to make sure that we deliver for our couples. So fast forward a little bit to the actual first look. The first look, obviously you can see here, there's lots of spots on the back of his jacket. How do we work around that? It's not totally, you can't be super perfect about it, especially when you're in a time crunch like we were today, and like you will be at most weddings. So we kind of have to make sacrifices here and there, but we use the same philosophy as if we had no shade whatsoever. So the thing that we did here is that we turned her away from the sun. So we're still getting that nice clean image. As you can see here on her face, there is no shade, there's no spots or anything like that, but on her hair, it's a little bit of a different story. Once again, you can't make the sun do whatever it wants. The sun is the sun. So you have to kind of work around it and make it work for you. And I would be willing to sacrifice some of the shadow on the hair to get a beautiful image of her face. And again, it's not really noticeable unless you bring it out. The bride is amazing, she's beautiful, and we're getting nice even light on her face. So she walks in, taps the shoulder. See, still, again, very even lighting for her, which is beautiful, really brings out a lot of the detail. And even the backlight, like here, it looks nice because it's giving some kind of layering here, and it's giving a little bit more dimension with the actual light. So that's pretty much for the first look. But before we move on, I want to talk about my camera settings a little bit. Once again, I shoot everything in Canon RAW for all of you camera nerds out there. 24 FPS or 23.976 FPS for this one, because there was talking over this. We did have them mic'd up so that they can have that sweet moment to themselves for their keepsake. And anytime we record anything with spoken audio, I always want to record in 24 FPS, because if I film it in 60 FPS, I've had issues in the past where it doesn't track right with the audio source, and sometimes you get like drifting with the audio, so it's not in sync with the actual voices. And that's one thing, if couples hire us and they want the actual keepsakes of the full ceremony and the full first looks and the full speeches, I don't want to have any issues with syncing problems when I'm sending it to the actual client. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to hop in here real quick to kind of give you my insights on how we set up the first look and what's important to the bride, not just us as creatives, but what's going to be important to bride and make them look the best. And so now we're going to go into cocktail hour as guests start arriving. Okay, so we're now officially at the Secret Garden. All of the guests are outside having cocktail hour. We have an amazing time. It's an amazing space, and we're in here pretty much the final minutes, final countdown for the official reception. There's going to be a lot of performances, a lot of moving parts, and so it's always good to give you guys a little insight in BTS of what we're doing. We have our 2-3-piece light set up so that we can make sure we're capturing it as good as possible, make sure the lighting looks amazing, because they put a lot of attention to detail in these events, so we want to make sure that it's getting captured the way it needs to be. So this is essentially the space. In a second, we're going to introduce Suher, who is pretty much planned all this stuff and all the decor. So I want to get her insight a little bit to, you know, show you guys what she's capable of and what's possible here at Secret Garden. So I'm with Suher, the master planner of all this stuff. What's your company name? And
so I am a wedding planner. My company name is Forever Refined Events, and I'm also the proud owner of 7 Elements & Co., which is a specialty rental company based down in California.
And the one thing that a lot of couples and venues don't get to hear is like kind of the behind the scenes of the actual vision of the wedding, how she puts it into perspective of what the client is asking for and how she starts to build that vision. So with this, the beautiful, everything that you did,
Thank you.
how did this come about? What did they communicate with you and how did you execute on that?
So my couple both were looking for a beautiful experience for their guests. When they come in, they want them to be wowed, but they don't want anything over the top and over extreme. And yes, we kind of did a little bit extra here and there because, you know, we love our couple so much and we listened to them. We made sure to listen to them and understand exactly what they're looking for. Visuals were helpful, texture was helpful, design, style, they wanted timeless, flawless, with a bit of, you know, a little bit of spunk. Our couple are young and hip and very trendy, so we definitely, you know, did a little Pinterest digging. It was lots of fun. They also loved the color green, so we made sure that the green just popped out everywhere, and it was lots of fun. And we're very lucky because we get people like Mikey to do our video work, and it's so much fun because we're all friends here at the end of the day. This industry is really great.
And it's exactly right. We're both very type A, and we want to make sure everything is clean and polished.
Oh, dude, we had tape measures. We were measuring everything. It took us like a while to get everything like perfectly straight, but we made it work.
Exactly. Amazing. Well, I'm excited to see how everything turns out. They're going to be able to see it all in the video.
Yes.
It's going to be beautiful once this place fills up and all the lights are on.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be spectacular. Thank you so much, Mikey.
Absolutely.
You're the best.
And last but not least for this video, I do love a good speech. And that is the one thing that, aside from all of the beauty, aside from all of the eye candy, aside from all the luxurious places that we get to film at, the one thing that I'll never get tired of is an amazing speech, something that is so important for storytelling, which is a huge part of what I do. We get to really capture these beautiful and heartfelt speeches, all of the joy that comes with everything that you've put your time and effort into building this day, into curating this day, these speeches and these moments. This is really where all of the beauty comes from.
Jason, you must know, Celine told me that she doesn't really dream when she sleeps. Recently, she told me that she started dreaming again. When you dream, it means that you have like a happy subconscious, and I think that she found her partner in this life, and she's deeply, deeply satisfied with you, and I'm very excited for your guys' life together.
And Jason, you're a wonderful match to Celine. You're calm, loving, funny, and grounded. And you bring a sense of ease in Celine. Every mother really hopes for in her daughter's partner.
But that's pretty much a wrap for us. The rest of the night is gonna be just dinner. It's gonna be a little more relaxed, some speeches and some open dancing that you'll get to see right here. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be looking forward to more of these. And if you have any questions about my services, if you have any questions about Suher, the planner, or anything from the venue, please reach out to me. I'll leave links down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.
To Celine and Jason, inshallah, may your life together be blessed, full of laughter, respect, and love that feels like home.
We are so proud of the people Jason and Celine have become, and we're excited to see the life they will build together moving forward.